Afternoon. Just coming in to do the forecast reading for 2020 for the air signs. I'm just making sure that I am actually up and running. I am. I can't see the live chat on my phone, on my computer for some reason. I can only see it from my phone. So welcome. And if you're just joining this as your first live with me, I have been doing Facebook Live for several years, and I've recently started to step in and start doing bringing my live into YouTube, and I've recently been trying to do more of the readings actually live rather than recorded. I've always been doing, for the last few years, been doing the recorded videos and posting them on YouTube, and I'm just wanting to extend it out a little bit now and take my business out further. Please remember, I'm just doing the forecast readings right now. I'm not doing anything that's in individual cards for anyone. This is just a forecast reading for anyone under the air sign, which would be Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. A little bit of a peek into 2020. If you want to book your personal, if you want to purchase your personal forecast reading with me, you can go to the link below and you will see all the instructions on how to get this book for you. And remember, it takes not remember, you didn't know yet. It takes up to 2 weeks to get your forecast reading back to you from the time that you purchase. So all the information is below, and you can also book your personal one-on-one reading with me, and that can also be done from my website, CorrieThorne.com. Everything is in the link below. Welcome and thank you. This is for air signs coming into 2020, and what I'm picking up and feeling around, and I work as a channel, so I'm channeling through these messages, so I get kind of choppy a little bit because I'm listening as I'm doing this. I try not to. I like to do live because then I don't have to. There's no worry about editing out. It is what it is. We get what we get, and remember, nothing replaces your free will. Always trust your own intuition, your own instincts. This is a message being channeled through from my guides for just a collective of people underneath these air signs. So solving problems is what comes up for me for the air signs, and I feel like in the past you've been about helping other people solve their problems or solving everyone else's issues, and you have not been so focused on solving your own problems. You have to solve your problems this year. You have to really solve your own issues. Get kind of down and dirty. Get kind of down and dirty with what needs to be done in your own life. This is about real big decision making. And 2020 is a year of focus and connection. And I keep seeing the color blue around the air signs, and it's like finding your voice. Mary, hi Mary. Libra needs to hear something good. Well, I really hope, Mary, that you get something good out of this. Let me see. I'm just listening, Mary. I'm just listening. You are, and so it's down and dirty is what I'm getting. It's time to get down and dirty. It's time to really kind of get clear on what have you been holding on to, or what this is honesty. This is about getting honest. I feel as if there's been a whole lot of like lying to yourself, or somebody else has been lying to you. You've been accepting dishonesty as just the way people are. It's just how things are, and I'm going to call bullshit on this. And it's a little bit of like, that's bullshit. Don't take the bullshit. It's like when you truly start to step into the essence of who you really are on a soul connection level, that level of presence that is so like from the higher self. When we're here and we take that, always remember that breath is connected to the divine source. You are the essence of a God consciousness. You're the essence of that beautiful light. And that when you really truly get honest with yourself, is that you have believed and accepted things for face value, even though they weren't honest, real, and true. And so there's been a whole lot of life decisions and choices that have been made right up to now that you're saying to yourself in your heart, and you're afraid to say it out loud, I'm done. I don't want to live in half-hearted truths anymore. I don't want to be accepting that I'm being like lied to and I'm lying to myself. I want to be honest, and I want to live in that level of integrity where I know what I need. I know what I want to see happen in my life. And there's been some painful like relationship or loss of around that energy of the air signs. It's like the air got cold, like things got really chilly around you, and everything that's been like everything has been it's been frozen. Everything was frozen for so long, and you were frozen and paralyzed in so many ways. And remember, this is not personal, this is general, so it might not resonate with you right now, this story, and it's like, it's okay if it doesn't. This is just what I'm picking up. And it's that it's been it paralyzed you and made you stay in situations or relationships that you're now looking at and going, and that includes the one with ourselves, right? And it's like, this is not working for me. This does not make me feel fulfilled. And 2020 is about what's going to fill my cup. What can I put in my cup? And we can't put in things that keep it's like filling it up with wine when we should be drinking water. Water's the good for it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my wine, but it's the sense that the water, we can fool ourselves that it's fulfilling us to put wine in the cup, but we are fooling ourselves. We need to be putting water in the cup and drinking the water, because that's what's giving us the most nutrients. It's the best for our body. It's providing us that nourishment that it's providing us that nourishment that we need, that our body actually needs, because we're dehydrated. We need to be rehydrated, and you're rehydrating your skin, your cells, your everything by putting in the healthy, putting in what really needs to go into you. And that's the way I'm getting it, is that this is, instead of the unhealthy, or instead of like the caffeine or the pop or the water or the wine or whatever it may be that we put in, that we go, so good, but it gives us that false reality that we've been happy and content and everything has been okay, but we're really not. And this is truly the time of when you're gonna, what goes into the cup, what goes into your heart, what goes in and feeds your soul, what goes in and feeds every piece of you, is about you going, I can breathe with this. This makes me feel as if like everything is being rehydrated. I'm not shrinking no more. I'm not that shrinking, shriveling up. I'm not hiding, it's like it's hidden you from yourself. It's hidden you from your true reality. Yes, and very painful. I'm saying to myself, why am I putting myself through this? Yes, Mary. And it's like, the truth is that we do it out of not feeling either worthy, valuable, or feeling that we need to be kind of putting ourselves on the back burner sometimes. Or if I do this, what will it cost me? What will I lose if I do this? But ultimately change that to, what will I gain? What will I gain if I give myself the best? What will I gain if I start to see myself living that most valuable, like that most beautiful life? And this is a true essence of we're putting a vision in front of ourselves. It's like whatever, all of the air signs is like you're putting this little cue card in front of you, and it has It has an image of what you want your life to be, and you're looking at it, and you start to follow it, even though you know it's a cue card, even though you know it's not real yet. But if you move the cue card and if you see what's in front, you might be fearful to take that jump. So you don't want to take that leap looking at what's really, really what you can't see. So you're giving yourself something to look at that gives you the encouragement to be able to make the changes that you need to make. So it's like, write those encouraging words, write those affirmations, write whatever it is that you need to do in the beginning of 2020 to be able to start creating a new reality for the life that's coming forth for you. Because it has to get real, and this is about getting real. And when we get real, we get raw, and when we get real and raw, we get vulnerable. And this is living in vulnerability. You're very good at of really not living in that state of everyone thinking you're vulnerable, but you're not being vulnerable. That there's guarded wall around you, and so we're really pushing. We're really pushing and cheerleading for our own lives is what's coming up for me. Is that for anyone born under that air sign, it's like you really have to push, and it's like there's a lot of and this is like the fire has been lit. The fire has been lit. The fire has been lit, and you have to, and you're just kind of letting it blow over. Everything has to blow over, and there's some points coming up for in 2020 that means that you're going to piss somebody off, or somebody's going to be very pissed off at you, and it's going to be that energy of you're standing up for yourself, right? You're stepping out, you're being you, and then all of a sudden you got this person that's like angry at you, or they're kind of saying, well, I'm not staying by your side if you do this or you do that, and it's like, yes, they will still be there. They'll need you for something, so they will be there. But it's what I'm picking up is that it will all blow over. It'll all blow over. So there's an argument, there's a disagreement, there's something that takes place that makes you want to go back to the old way you were doing things. Don't you dare, because if you do, you're going to be kicking yourself in the ass for doing that. This is like, no, it'll all blow over, and everything that's not serving you will blow away. And I have a lot of, I'm picking up the desert. I'm picking up an essence of somebody going on, and it comes right back to that hydrate again, that whole, it's like, so desert, being very kind of dry. Everything feels very dry. So if you've been, in 2020, I feel like there's the energy of going on retreats or going somewhere where you have to be very, that if you don't bring forward the things that you need, you will be depleted. Like, it's like if you're going into the desert and you're going hiking, you know what can happen if you don't take water. If you don't, because you're not going to see water for a period of time, and you need to have those things with you. So it's like you need to take the things that are in your bank. So the things that are inside of you that are your gifts, your great qualities, the things to be true about you, you're taking forward with you, because there's a lot of who you are in your presence that's going to be shedding and leaving, and as if you're shedding the old skin, and because you're going to be raw, because you're going to be vulnerable, you're going to have to remember you're going to have to remember the gifts of you, remember the qualities that you look now and smile and say, God, I'm really good at that. I do this very well. And so it's becoming very kind of, as this all sheds away and is real and vulnerable, I feel as if you're coming into a blank slate period in your life. So Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, this is a blank slate. And 2020 leaves you at an opportunity with a canvas, an opportunity to paint your picture, to paint what you're going to put in front of you, to look at it and just know that it might not all be exactly as it's going to be by the end of 2020, but it's giving you something to strive for. It's giving you something to look forward to, that you're building your own life, that you're building up a life of a new reality coming in to 2020. So there's a lot of shedding. There's going to be a lot of shedding, a lot of falling away, a lot of old stuff leaving, but it's the ending. You have a lot of endings in the beginning so that new beginnings can take place. And in that you're also, but in that you're finding yourself. And I feel as if for a lot of you, you haven't known all aspects, you haven't known much about yourself in a long time because you have given so much to everybody else and not enough to you. And this is this also comes in with I'm getting like clear vision. You're getting a clear vision, and it's as if you haven't had yet that clear vision of your life. And it's I just keep getting artistic. Like it's time to be very artistic. This is not so structured. I feel like it's like you don't have to be so structured, so step by step. You don't have to have a list of 10 goals. You don't have to have a set of intentions. You don't have to have shit. You don't have to have all that stuff in place, which would be very abnormal for those born under those air signs. Is that you want to see it all, and you want to have that goals, and you want to know exactly where you're going. No, you're becoming the artsy fartsy kind of energy, and you're just gonna go with the flow. And this is new, to go with the flow, trusting that going with the flow, in letting that wherever the air takes you is going to just plop you down in that perfect place for you this year. And I feel like I'm gonna say Gemini. And this is all air signs as well. This might resonate with you, but I just heard Gemini. You have some lessons to learn about control. Gemini, you're going to find out that the more that you try to hang on to something, the more that falls away. That parts of you keep falling away, and you can't keep clinging on to what is not working. It hasn't been working for a while. It's not going to serve you well in 2020 if you keep hanging on. And Aquarius, stop waiting for an answer that's not coming. Stop waiting for someone to tell you exactly what it's going to look like, exactly the way things are going to be, exactly what your future partner looks like, or whatever it may be. Let go of that. Surrender that over. Libra, stop pleasing. Stop doing this life for everyone else. You have to start doing this life for you. And you have to be that priority. And sometimes I feel like for air, and not all air signs, some of you sometimes are harsh with your words. And it can come across as kind of hurtful and cruel, as if you're intentionally doing this. But I want you to notice where your words are coming from this year, and pay attention to, really pay close attention to what is behind your words. What is the energy behind when you react? When you react to a situation, how you're responding to somebody else's story or somebody else's behavior, and how you're reacting, because those words that are coming across as harsh are actually fear. They're actually fear, and that fear is coming from something of the past, of kind of not feeling good enough is what I'm getting, not feeling worthy, or something like that young child still trying to please, or being scared. If they have their own views or their own thoughts, then it's just going to be judged, or you're going to be shamed. And I feel as if you've been through enough of the shame game, the blame game, all of those. And coming into 2020, make your words softer and kinder. Sometimes no response is the best. You don't have to fight back with words. Sometimes fight back with action. Fight back with action of change. Make changes. And sometimes it's like, if they're harping at you, say, well, I just love you anyway. I just love you anyway. Or I don't have a response. You're right. Or say you're right. Even though you know they're wrong, just say, you know what? You're right. And the moment you do that, it's like every bit of the energy changes, because you're playing a bit of a game, but you're not playing into. You're not playing into somebody else and this feels like relationship wise, where this feels like you're not playing into the game. And you like playing the games. Sometimes it becomes a little bit of an addiction to the drama, a little bit of tangled up in drama, and a little bit of a smirk when you can prove somebody wrong or something like that. And it's like, no, this is not what it's about. This is about really changing the habit of how you respond and react that sometimes comes out making you look like you are the bad person, you're the person who does all the stuff wrong, but you're not. You're not. And this is getting very clear. Sometimes it's hard to keep your mouth shut. Yes, Mary, I was just thinking the same thing as that came out of my mouth. I'm like, oh my God, that's sometimes so hard to do. And it is so hard to do. Sometimes you just want to fight back, but the only person being left with that energy sometimes after the fact is you. And it's what's it serving. And there's times when you gotta freaking stand up for yourself. And this is, I'm not saying every time don't say nothing. What I'm saying is be cautious, like just be aware of what you're responding to. Because if it's a childish act, and if it's a continued act and just that game they play to get you all worked up and to get you angry, don't feed into it. You're just not feeding into somebody else's bad behavior, is what I'm getting. Don't be feeding into bad behavior, and don't be feeding into your own bad behavior. This is about breaking those bad behaviors. This is about letting that stuff go and listening. We really have to learn to listen, air signs. It's like you're kind of so far ahead sometimes that you're not listening to what is needed to be heard, what is needed to be experienced in the moment. Stay in the moment. Get very right here, right now. And there's sometimes strength in silence. Remember that. Strength in silence. And hi, I'm Monterey. Like subscriber. I like your readings. I'm curious to be. Oh, welcome. And I'm just doing a general forecast reading for like the air signs right now. I just did fire sign. So if you're a fire sign and you're just joining in, go back into the video before this, and I'm going to do all 4 of the elements before the day is over. My hope is to get them all done before the day is over. And if you want to book your own personal forecast reading, there is a link below where you can book your own. So also for the air signs, what I'm picking is, and this came out in the Enchanted Map deck, and this was follow the leader and stuck in the mud. I feel like you've been following that leader. You've been following kind of the unhealthy leaders for too long, and you want to follow the leader inside of yourself now. You want to follow that own kind of book of commandments that we write of. We know who we are. We know our integrity. We know who we are. And this is where I said when I was just saying to Mary about how we get so caught up in wanting to be right or wanting to kind of argue back, and sometimes that silence is everything, and getting really good at listening to what people are not saying. What are they not saying? And so 2020 is really about letting go of fears, about painting that on that blank canvas. This is an opportunity. I feel like when we come into February, March, it's like a really blank canvas that you've been just going through and just shedding and letting go. And we're no longer drinking the Kool-Aid of being told by society of what's acceptable, what's not, of this is what you have to look like, this is how you have to be, this is how you should raise your children, this is, that picture perfect. And we're letting go of all of the picture perfect, and we're shedding that, and we're letting that go, and we're creating one that's very creative and artistic and really fits the life that you want to live. And it's healthy, it's whole, and filling your cup with the healthy things. And like I said, not filling in with, we can convince ourselves that drinking the wine is great, but it's not better than the water, right? It's like that's the false reality. And we're coming around in a time of not living in the false reality. It's about living in your vulnerability, which is the most beautiful thing that you can live in. Because once you shed all this old, you're raw, you're vulnerable, you're exposed, and you're exposing yourself, but you're also exposing the bad behaviors of others by really exposing yourself and being honest and living to your truth. And this is a year for Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. This is about living your truth. The things are going to fall away. I feel as if there's some real big changes coming this direction for you. There is also some relief. There's some relief. Like once you start to kind of drink the water that hydrates and you get rehydrated, it's like, oh, there's relief. I can, it's like you've been depleted. A lot of depleted in 2019, and in 2020 your life is being refilled. It's like finances, financial gain, love gain, a lot of love energy for the air signs is what I'm getting for 2020. Stay true to you. Do not sway away from the essence of who you know you are, and do not let somebody else tell you how you should be living your life this year. Yes, fire. Okay, so you can go back and you can watch the fire one. Cynthia, pathways. Yes. Relief. Yes, Mary, relief. So it's truly is a relief, but it's like I said, painting yourself this picture of how you want to see life unfold, or kind of not exactly, because we get what we need, not what we want, right? So it's that whole essence of when we're walking a new journey, when we're walking on the path of enlightenment and vulnerability and living this true essence of ourselves and taking a stand for us, is that we don't know exactly what it's going to look like, and that's called having faith, right? And trusting. But by painting ourselves, and I always say this, go back to your childhood dreams and turn your childhood dreams into adult dreams. It's not going to be exactly as you dreamt of, but what did you dream of? If you didn't have happiness and all you could dream of was, I see myself living this happy life, well, on that little blank canvas, put happiness. What looks like happiness? And that's kind of what you're putting in front of you, and you're following that direction, not knowing what's behind it. And if you lift it up and you see it's like barren land because it hasn't been created yet, well, that destined life has not been created. You are just beginning in 2020, really creating a new life, because you're making some big decisions, some big changes to be able to start creating a life that aligns you to what is kind of fated for us, or into the direction of what is healthy and whole, and feels as if you're really walking towards a golden light. So it's like I'm looking at a sun, that the only thing I can see over here is the sun, and you're going towards that, and you're walking into a beautiful, bright, warm environment, warm atmosphere. It's like you're leaving behind that cold air, that breezy cold air, and you're moving in the direction of saying, I'm not gonna keep freezing out my own heart. I'm not gonna keep shutting myself down. I'm gonna choose to live in this so that I can feel this warmth, I can feel this happiness, I can feel this joy. And this is truly about what 2020 is resonating through my channel for you for the coming year as we're coming forward. And I'm not going to say it's always going to be easy, because it is not, and there's always going to be human moments. And I keep getting I keep getting I feel like it's like the Beatles or John Lennon, and it's not Imagine. It's not Imagine. I can't remember. I just got this song in my head, and I can feel peace in your heart. Like you're finally able to have some peace in your heart, and that comes with not feeling the need to be fighting so hard and arguing to be able to speak your truth. This is about a year of living in your truth, living honest, and kind of, yeah, you do expect honesty from people, and not false reality. This is about living in truth. I can see graduation song 2003, creating a pathway. Interesting. I like that, Cynthia, and and this is exactly what it feels like to me. It's like you're on a journey. This is a big journey for 2020. So enjoy it. Follow your own intuition. Follow your own path, because it is your path. This is yours to walk. This is not the one that you were afraid to walk before, so you walked the one that somebody else was trying to tell you to walk. There's always, and this is a little heads up, there's always going to be a snake. There's always going to be a trickster. There's always going to be that one person who tries to fool you into thinking that you need to go back. That you need to do, and remember that. There's always going to be that one who keeps saying that to us, that, oh, okay, coming out of an abusive relationship, so it is a start. Yes, that's a huge start. That's brave. That takes a lot of courage to be able to walk away from. So kudos to you, Mary. And it's like, yeah, just remember, and this is like a little heads up for the year. There's always that one little one that comes in, and it's like, just jump over it. You are not afraid. That's the card I put. You are not afraid. You're not afraid of that snake. You're not afraid of that trickster. You have, even though they may be trying to appear as if they're scary and bigger than you, and they can, it's like, no, you're not. Don't be. Just keep going. And the card that came out as validation was dare to be happy. I dare you to be happy in 2020. I dare you to do the things that you need to do for you. And this is your year to find happiness and joy on that path. And you're walking towards that sun. You're walking towards that golden light of opportunities and golden light of just being, living the best of you, living the best version of you, and living it with a person or the people that you know align to you. This is not staying in the struggles. This is, and when you open your mouth to speak, you're speaking your truth, and it's stuff that you really want to say. It's not shit that you got to be letting sit inside of you because, oh God, why would I have behaved that way, or why would I go back to acting as if I was 12? And the card that comes up is be patient. This is definitely a journey, so it's not going to all happen overnight. It's that it takes work, but you're headed in the right direction. So stay on your path. Don't be afraid to keep walking this path. And like I said, just make sure you remember your gifts and your tools that are inside of you that will serve you well to get you through. So, yes, Cynthia, like a fox. Yep. It's just like there's always that one little piece there. Let's see. Want to change my country in order to break my cultural chains. Maybe a move is in store for you. Who knows, right? It's like sometimes it's a move. Sometimes we do need to make a move. As we make moves in right directions, those moves come in many forms. So who knows? It may be about a move. So, but thank you, and I am going to be back a whole lot more on YouTube. So if you're new to my page, or if you're just watching this video, please subscribe, like. I've been on Facebook Live for a long time, and that's been my platform. That's where I've been doing all of my work, but I'm switching over and doing a way more on YouTube, and I'll be doing regular readings and videos and doing live chats and just coming in to do an hour of hanging out and doing readings for people in here. So thank you for being with me today, and thank you for this opportunity. And I'll also get out the other two elements. I'll get out the water and the water and earth signs sometime over today. I'd have to do this in between clients. So thank you. And also, like I said, you can book your own personal forecast reading in the link below, or you can book a personal reading with me, CorrieThorne.com. All the information is below. And if you go back through some of my videos, you can also see a 6-month mentorship program that I teach called More Than Existing. And it says January 9th, but I bumped it ahead because I'm getting ready to speak at an event Saturday, and I just wanted to wait till after that. So it's actually going to be starting in February. And it goes into 4 different levels if you stay with me, and it's about building that foundation. It's about blueprinting our lives and building up that empire inside of us, built on a healthy foundation, and seeing living the best of us. So much love. Thank you for joining me, and many blessings. Bye bye.